Hi, Jen. So this is my video final. Uh, so for chapter one, we talked about communication and the college experiences that I'll be using that with, and that's going to be important for me because I will be going through my future classes, and I will have to learn how and know how to discuss things in each class in front of people and to people. For chapter two, it talked about perception, and that's very important to me because it is important how you view like the world and everything that goes on around you, and you have to understand what it takes to what makes like the world go round. I guess is what one way you could say. For chapter three, it talked about listening challenges and communication challenges, and for me, I chose the dominating listening challenges because I have an issue with sometimes dominating a conversation. I like to turn it around and talk about me. I have to work on that in the future, and so that's that. Chapter four, I chose gender differences and how they communicate because sometimes I forget that we are different gender. There are different genders, and that they all communicate differently. I mean, for example, women communicate differently than men. I have to remember that when I'm communicating with women, especially in my future career. Chapter five, I chose nonverbal communication techniques because it's imperative that I understand what other people are communicating when they nonverbally gesture and when all that stuff goes on. So I have to, for chapter six, I chose Maslow's hierarchy of needs because uh, for my political science degree, I it's important that I understand when building policy and when building things like that, I understand what at the very basis what drives people to survive and what drives people to live the way that they do. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains that. For chapter seven, I chose independent, dependent, interdependent relationships because it's important for me to understand for my current and potentially future, if I have any future, or my current one, whatever leads to whatever happens, it's important that I understand what kind of relationship I am in. As of right now, I do believe that I am in an interdependent relationship because we're both able to do things on our own, but at the same time, we like to rely on each other for other things. For chapter eight, uh, I have to look at the informative speeches side of things um, because for my career, I'm going to be an airline pilot, hopefully. And when speaking over the intercom in the PA system, I do have to give information like that. For chapter nine, I chose speech outlines because I've struggled with that, and it's important to have an outline so that way you know what you're going to talk about in future classes and such. For chapter 10, I chose PR and marketing because as an airline pilot, I will be the face of the company to an extent, which is extremely important for PR. And it kind of, especially with recent events with United and all those airlines doing everything. For chapter 11, I chose persuasion because I host a radio show on campus where I try and persuade people to vote and to get more involved in politics because I'm a political science major. That's very important. Um, for chapter 12, I chose a small group because in a flight deck setting, you are working with either the pilot, with the captain, or the first officer, depending on what rank you are. It's important that you understand the roles of that small group that you're in. For chapter 13, I chose roles and organizations because, again, to be an airline pilot, I have to understand the different roles that the flight attendants have, the gate agents have, and all of them have while working on this type of stuff. For chapter 14, I chose social media because in the future, I'm not to watch what I say on social media because more and more jobs are looking for um, social media, like things that go on and stuff like that. For my affirmations, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do these quick. I have a 5 minute limit. For number one, I'm a diligent student. I have a bright future ahead of me. My career is very rewarding. I have a loving family. Christ is always watching over me. My fraternity is very supportive. My family is very supportive. My girlfriend is extremely supportive. I've gotten the highest GPA this semester as I have all throughout my entire college career, and I'm a sophomore, so that's saying something, I guess. I'm going to actually graduate a semester early. I'm going to be getting my pilot's license this summer, which is super cool. Uh, Life is really going great right now. And my classes are very interesting next year. And I also am having a future my house next year with some of my best friends.